Welcome you all in lecture number 28 of Abstract Algebra MTL 6051. In this lecture, we will going to discuss principal integral domain. Principal integral domain. Okay. And example of Euclidean domain as well as PID. Okay. In previous lecture, we already studied about ED. What is ED? If R is ID, integral domain, and D is a function such that D satisfies two conditions. For all AB belongs to R, such that AB is non-zero. DA is less than or equal to DAB, first condition. And second condition, A is equal to B into Q plus R, then R equal to 0 or DR is less than DB. Okay. If these two conditions satisfied by D, then this R and D, this structure is known as ED. Okay. Now let us see what is principal integral domain. Okay. First, let us see principal ideal. What is principal ideal? An ideal A which contains multiple of an element A0, right, including A0, is called principal ideal, right? That is, A is generated by A0, right? See, capital A is generated by A0, then A, this notation, angular bracket, capital A is generated by A0. Then ideal A which contains multiple of element, that is A0 x belong to R, right? This type of ideal is known as principal ideal. Okay. Now see, we already discussed in our previous class, that is in lecture number 27, that this type of set, this is ideal in ED. Okay. It means every ideal in ED is principal ideal, right? So let us see the theorem. Every ideal in ED is PI, right? Every ideal in ED, what is ideal of ED? Ideal of ED is of this type, capital A0 x belong to R, right? We claiming that this is nothing but PI. This is principal ideal. Okay. Let us see. R is ED, right? Then R is its own ideal. Okay. Since R is ID, so it have at least two ideal, 0 and R. Okay, 0 and R, right? These two trivial ideal. So every R is ideal of R itself. Okay. So this R is generated by R0. Yes, it is generated by R. So let us see what is R. What is R0? R0 is an element of capital R. So every element, each element of R is multiple of R. Okay, that is R is equal to R0 k, right? For some k. So if any A belongs to R, consider any general element A belongs to R. This A is equal to x R0. A equal to x R0, right? Then what is AK? AK is equal to, what is A? A is x R0. A x R0 into k, right? This is equal to x into R0 k. What is x R0? That is A, right? Then from this thing it is clear that K is unit in R. Okay, K is unit in R. Now come to the principal integral domain. Principal integral domain, first thing remember that ED is the subset of PID. Okay, the structure is of this type. Field is subset of ED, right? It is subset of PID, it is subset of UFD, it is subset of ID, and it is subset of ring. Okay, this thing. So every ED is PID. Every ED is PID. In PID, every ideal. What is PID? Every ideal is principal ideal. Every ideal is principal ideal. Okay. So an integral domain with unity is called PID if every ideal is principal ideal. If every ideal is principal ideal. Okay. Now see the example of Euclidean domain. Then later on we will discuss some example of principal integral domain. Okay. So we know that set of Gaussian integer is denoted by Zi. What is Zi? Set of Gaussian integer. And what is the element of Zi? A plus Bi, where AB belongs to Z. Is ring of Gaussian integer, and this is ED. Okay. To prove Zi is ED, we have to define some function D. Right. So we define function D. Since the element of Z is A plus Bi, so A plus Bi, D of this is equal to A square plus B square. Okay. And we know that since D, what is D of this, right? This is always a non-negative integer. Non-negative integer. So A square plus B square is always greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Where AB belongs to Z. Right? Yes. So consider Zi with respect to this D defined in this way, D of A plus Bi is equal to A square plus B square. Now we have to show that this is ED. To prove it, this is ED, we have to show that D satisfies two conditions. D of X is less than or equal to D of XY. And what is X and Y? X and Y are element of Zi. And second, for X is equal to Y into Q plus R. So either R equal to 0 or D of R is less than D of Q. Okay. If D satisfies these two conditions, then this Zi with respect to this D is Euclidean domain. Okay. So let us see whether D satisfies these two conditions or not. So focus on condition number 1. See, what is Zi? Zi is this. Right? Define D. D of X. What is X? In short form, A plus Bi, we denoted X. D of X is equal to A square plus B square. Right? Then D of X is greater than or equal to 0. Right? And D of X, that is D of A plus Bi, is equal to A square plus B square is greater than or equal to 0. This A square plus B square equal to 0 if A and B both are 0. Okay, that is X is 0. If X is 0, then D of X is 0. Otherwise, D of X is greater than 0. Okay. So consider X and Y two element of Zi. What is X? X is A plus Bi, and what is Y? Y is C plus Di. Okay. Then what is D of X into Y? Multiply X and Y, A plus Bi into C plus Di. A plus bi into c plus di is this thing. The real part AC minus IB into ID, that is I square BD, that is minus BD, and imaginary part. And what is this thing? This thing is real part square, that is AC minus BD square plus AD plus BC square. Okay, and this thing is nothing but this one, A square plus B square, C square plus D square. And what is this? This is dx dy. Okay, dx dy. So d of x is less than or equal to dx dy. Okay, the condition number 1 is true. Now come to the condition number 6. If xy belong to zi, then consider two numbers. For the simplicity, let us take x is equal to n plus I0. Okay, that is n. And y is equal to a plus I into b. What is the relation between a and b? Right? If we divide a by n, then this is n into q1 plus r1 and b is equal to n into q2 plus r2. Okay, n into q2 plus r2. Here we use u and v. So let us write, instead of q1 and q2, let us write it u and v. Okay, a is equal to u into n plus r1 and v is equal to v into n plus r2. Okay, where r1 and r2 satisfy usual condition. Okay, what is r1? Come to the r1. What is r1? 0 is less than r1 is less than, right? Then this r1 and n by 2 satisfy these two relations. R1 is less than or equal to n by 2. R1 is greater than n by 2. If R1 is less than n by 2, then n minus R1 is less than n by 2. Okay? Okay, no problem, less than or equal to n by 2. And if this thing happen, then minus R1 is greater than, is less than minus n by 2. Then n minus R1 is less than n minus n by 2. Right? It means n minus R1 is less than n by 2. Okay, so we will use this n minus r1. Why we are doing this exercise? We will use this thing later on. Okay, so let us see. Say, what is a? A is equal to un plus r1. Then add n and subtract n. Un plus n minus n plus r1. So this thing is n into u plus 1, n into u plus 1 minus n minus r1. What is n minus r1? Right? N into a is equal to n into u plus 1 minus n minus r1. Okay? We call it n into k1, n into q plus this thing we call k1. Okay? Then what is mod of k1? Mod of k1 is equal to n minus r1, right? Minus of mod of. And what is n minus r1? This is less than n by 2, that we already discussed, right? N minus r1 is less than n by 2. Okay, then mod of k1 is less than n by 2. Remember this thing, mod of k1 is less than n by 2. Okay, similarly for b also, b is equal to, this a is equal to n into q plus k1, and similarly b is equal to n into q prime plus k2, and this mod of k2 is less than n minus mod of n minus r1 is less than n by 2. Okay, so mod k2 is also less than n by 2. Mod k1 is less than n by 2, mod k2 is less than n by 2, right? Then what is y? Y is equal to a plus ib, right? And what is a? A is this thing. It means n q1 plus k1, that is n into q1 plus k1 plus I into b, n into q2 plus k2. Okay, so what is this? This is equal to n into q1 plus I into q2 plus k1 plus I k2. Okay, this thing, right? So if y is equal to this, then not q1, this is q and q prime, q and q prime, right? n into I into q prime plus k1 I k2. Okay, now so n into this q and q prime, we call it something y is equal to n into q plus I q prime, we call it q1, and k1 plus I k2 we call it I p1, say p1. Okay, what is p1? P1 is I k1 plus I k2 and q plus I q prime is q1. Okay, okay, then what is k1 and k2? This k1 and k2, this thing and k2, either this is equal to 0. If this is not 0, then this d of p1, na, what is the second result of d in Euclid domain? Either this thing k1 plus I k2 is 0 or d of k1 plus I k2 is less than d of n, right? So if this is 0, then no problem. If k1 plus I k2 is not 0, then what happens? If k1 plus I k2 is not 0, then d of k1 plus I k2, what is d of ab? D of a plus ib is equal to a square plus b square. Similarly, then d of k1 plus I k2 is equal to k1 square plus k2 square, right? What is k1 square? We know that mod of k1 is less than n by 2. So k1 square is less than n square by 4. And similarly, k2 square is less than n square by 4. So k1 square plus k2 square is less than n square by 4 plus n square by 4. This is equal less than n square. Okay. So this is less than n square means what? D n plus I0. Okay. So d of k1 plus I k2 is less than d of n. Okay. So now come to the second example of Euclidean domain. Consider Z root 2. What is Z root 2? Z root 2 containing all those elements of the type a plus b root 2 where ab belong to Z is Euclidean domain. This is Euclidean domain. For this Z root 2, we have to define a distance function, that is d. Then define d from Z root 2 to set of d is a function from Z root 2 to capital N union 0. Okay. And this defined as a plus b root 2 is equal to modulus of a square minus 2b square. Right? Here we define d from Z root 2 excluding 0, that is non-negative numbers. Non-zero numbers, right? Of Z root 2 to Z. Either you call it Z or this n union 0. Basically, this function if we define in this way, then it never be going to less than 0. So we call it n union 0. And if you are considering Z, then there is no problem also. Then this a square minus 2b square is always greater than 0. Right? This never be equal to 0. Right? This equal to 0 only when a square minus 2b square equal to 0 implies that root 2 is equal to a by b, which is not possible. Okay, which is not possible. So consider the first condition for d. We have to show that d of a or d of x is less than or equal to d of x into y. What is x? If we consider x is a plus b root 2, what is this? This is x. And what is y? Y is equal to c plus d root 2. Then x and xy. Okay, consider x and xy. Product of xy. What is product of xy? a plus b root 2 into c plus d root 2. Product of these two, that is AC and 2BD, AC 2BD, and the second one is BC root 2 and AD root 2, BC plus AD root 2, right? This is the product of these two. Now distance of these two, the distance of product of these two, d of this is equal to this. Then this is defined, the real part square minus 2, sorry, not real, the element are a plus b root 2. If we define d, then this is equal to d, sorry, mod of a square plus, sorry, not plus, minus 2b square. Then this part square minus 2 times this part square. Okay, and after solving this, we got this is equal to a square minus 2b square, c square minus 2b square, which is obviously greater than this one, d of a plus b root 2. That is, d of a plus b root 2 is less than or equal to this one. And what is this one? Is less than or equal to this one means d of a plus b root 2 into c plus d root 2. Okay. The first part is okay. Now come to the second part. In second part, what we are doing? This b is equal to a into q plus r. Then what is r? R is either 0 or d of r is less than d of a. This thing. For this part, we have to divide b by a, right? Then divide a plus b root 2 by c plus d root 2. Then a plus b root 2 c plus d root 2. After rationalizing it, we got this thing, AC minus BD divided by C square minus 2D square plus square root of 2 BC minus AD divided by C square minus 2D square. We call it M square root of 2 into N. What is M? M is this one. And what is N? N is equal to this one. Okay. M is this one and N is this one. Okay. Now see. This is M and N. Then this M may or may not belong to Z. May or may not in Z. Right? Then this M can be written as greatest integer function plus its fractional part theta. Then this M can be written as greatest integer function plus fractional part. Similarly, N can be written as greatest integer function plus its fractional part, say 5. Okay, so M plus theta. Now what is theta? Theta is fractional part. So for example, 1.5 can be written as 1 greatest integer function plus fractional part 0.5. Right? For 1.7 it can be written as greatest integer function plus 0.7. Okay, so this fractional part is either less than 1 by 2 or greater than 1 by 2. So consider both the cases. Consider both cases. This fractional part is either less than 1 by 2 or greater than 1 by 2, and obviously since it is fractional part, so less than. Okay. Now consider P. In this case, consider P is greatest integer function M, and in this case consider greatest integer function M plus 1. Okay. In both cases, M minus P is less than 1 by 2. And similarly for N also, N minus Q is less than 1 by 2. Right? So if we consider for our simplicity of notation, M minus P is alpha and N minus Q is beta. M minus P is alpha and N minus Q is beta. So mod of alpha is less than 1 by 2 and mod of beta is less than or equal to 1 by 2. So this thing, A plus B root 2 divided by C plus root 2 is this thing. Why? Since this is equal to M plus N root 2. What is M? M is equal to P plus alpha and Q plus beta. Now, what is A plus B root 2? Multiplying this thing by C plus D root 2. Okay, multiply this thing by C plus D root 2. So A plus B root 2 is equal to C plus root 2D and P plus root 2Q plus C plus root 2D alpha root 2 beta. Okay. We call it R. Denote it by R. Okay, so expression is lengthy, otherwise concept is easy. Okay, so a plus b root 2 equal to c plus root 2d, p plus root 2q. Okay, and we call it r. Now we have to show that if r equal to 0, then no problem. Otherwise we have to show that dr is less than d of c plus d root 2. Okay, now see, r is equal to this one. Yes, so r belong to this. If r does not equal, if r equal to 0, then there is no problem. If r does not equal to 0, then what is dr? Dr is this thing. Okay, dr is this thing. Okay, then this is equal to c square minus 2d square and m minus p square minus 2 into this. Okay, c square minus 2d square. What is m minus p? M minus p is less than 1 by 2. So say m minus p square is less than 1 by 4. 1 by 4. n minus q is less than 1 by 2. So n minus q square is less than 1 by 4. So 2 into 1 by 4. Okay, this thing is 3 by 4. So this total thing is less than c square minus 2d square. Yes, that is dc root 2d. So dr is less than this one. So second condition is also true, right? This condition is also true. First condition is true. It means d satisfy the condition 1 and 2. So z root 2 with respect to d, this is Euclidean domain, and where d is a plus b root 2 is equal to mod of a square minus 2b square. Okay, we will stop here. Next lecture we will discuss some problems related to ED and PID.